Searching podcasts for Dave, and one more time.
They tell me that the new Speaker of the House is from Louisiana. Well, it's about time. What's his name? Boudreaux? Thibodeau? Jeremy? Huh? Johnson? We have a speaker from Louisiana named Mike Johnson? Well, maybe we can at least call him T-Mike. That's just a missed opportunity right there. And speaking of missed opportunities, this is Dave and Juan. Whoa!
And 3.
Number 2.
Followed by 1.
Followed by woohoo.
Hello, kids. Good to see you again. And America, as always.
Hey, bro.
You're
welcome.
Welcome. Absolutely welcome. Hi, everybody. How are you? I'm Dave.
I'm Juan.
And this is Dave and Juan.
More time.
Thank you. Thank you kindly to, I can't even say middle age. But you call it, I guess technically they would call us middle age, but I don't feel like I'm in the middle of nothing, bro.
Nah, I'm in the middle of a lot of stuff, but age, I don't think is one of them.
Yeah, man. You know, I don't know where that hill is. You know, I guess, would you even want to know if they would, that's a sort of a philosophical question.
No.
Would you want to know how many,
Nope.
right? What's that old, what was that line about when you go to a cemetery and you look at the dates, you know, born and died, and they got the little dash in between.
The dash in the middle, man. It's what happens in the dash that matters.
That's right. We're all going through the dash. We don't know how long that dash is going to be, y'all. But there you go. So I was about to say 2 old cranky guys been dealing with IT issues.
Dude, yeah. So I had something at work, at my work that's been going on for like over 2 weeks now. And it took them until like Thursday to diagnose that it's not a me problem. It's a server problem.
Well, hang on. I like the fact though, the first assumption, right off the jump. All right. The first assumption is it's a Juan problem.
Right, well, you know, I right there, man. It's like, hey, dude, it's something I did. It's only affecting me. Nobody else in the company is affected by it.
Maybe that's because you're the only one doing some work, bro.
Hey, I won't say that in case somebody from there listens. But I'm the only one who came up with a solution. So basically what we're talking about, and it ain't even a good solution. We use all the Microsoft 360 apps, and we're all linked together through the apps online. But I use Outlook as my email server at work.
I hate Outlook.
Yeah, but you know, it's the Microsoft.
It's what everybody uses.
Yeah.
And
I personally prefer Apple Mail.
And for all of our true Cajun don't use a computer people out there, they're like, bro, what they talking about now? Outlook. What's an Outlook? You know what my Outlook is? It's almost hunting season. That's what my Outlook is.
But so basically, I can't access email on my computer.
That's a big deal. That's a big
deal for me. I use email, as my to-do list. Basically, it's here's I'm working on stuff from email. I file my email. Yeah, I've got a great email filing system. It's where I keep all of my documents and everything.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Your email becomes it's basically your calendar, your to-do list,
right,
your record. I do that all the time. I get something that it happened this week. I just pulled up an email from, a couple years back to sort of prove a point of, I'm like, no, I did what I was supposed to do.
Yeah. Or I'll tell you got such and such a thing. Yes, I do. It's right here in my email filed under such and such. Right. So can't access any of that. Okay. So, now I have, in order to do it, I have to check my work email on my phone, which is a pain because then it's like I got my phone in my hand. Now I'm getting distracted. I'm doing other things. But if somebody emails me a document, I then have to forward that email to my Gmail account.
There you go. Good old
Then
Google.
open my Gmail account, open the document, then to comment, or if I want to, make a comment or adjust the document, I then have to forward it from my Gmail account back to my work email account, and then forward it to the person who I need to communicate with. And before I do that, I've got to clean up all the Gmail references because I don't want them getting confused and start sending me stuff to my Gmail account.
You
So
know what,
one
bro? They got
email
somebody
takes
out
me
there
about
right now.
10 minutes.
They got people out there right now saying, bruh, cry me a river.
Well,
I'm out working in the heat today, or somebody's working retail somewhere. They're like, oh man, Paul's bad. He had to forward something to the Gmail and
but
clean it up. When you say you have to clean it up, that's not like bringing out a broom and a mop. Clean it up means
no.
Hey, listen, dude, I'm the same way. I'm the same. You change.
Well, I'm sitting out saying, hey, bro, how about somebody thank me for doing this? Or cut me some slack. Oh, there's a typo in there. I'm like, really? Just one?
Just one? Yeah. So have they figured out, have they diagnosed the non-Juan problem?
Yeah, it's a server issue, which is going to cost $8,000 to fix. $8,000. And they can't do it when during the work week because it would mess everybody who's not named Juan up.
Now help me out here, and man, we are probably already way in the weeds. People are saying, bro, talk about the Saints, talk about the swamp. Anyway, so do you guys have your own server?
Yeah.
Like on site?
Yeah.
I didn't think anybody really did much of that anymore. Maybe
it's
like
tied in through Microsoft and stuff. I mean, it's somebody else who's got to,
I thought everybody just used the clouds, which is an advantage and a disadvantage. So you need a $9,000. That sounds like a made up number, bro. That's the number of, man, if we tell them 10, they're gonna they're gonna balk. That's the pricing thing.
Yeah, well,
you got to figure out what
then the IT guy at work, oh man, that's nothing for an IT repair. I got to shut up, whatever.
Yeah. It's a guy that's getting paid. Exactly. That's people in IT always want to, that stuff. Like, the money I'm saving you.
Yeah.
You know the money. Yeah. And we were talking about this because I was myself dealing with some issues this morning I run my company I use Google, but whatever, the Gmail suites. Yeah, all that stuff. And you get your own company name on it and blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm buying extra storage because apparently I'm a high data storage guy. Because I back up all my photos and up until today, bro, I had 100-something episodes of this show backed up on something. I realized, wait, that's all on YouTube and everywhere else. I don't need, so I'm cleaning stuff up. I can't even understand.
A lot of them are in my download folder at work. So
I can't even understand the pricing on how. That's how bad it is. I'm gonna have to reach out to my IT guy, who's not technically my guy. Now I send him a check every month. You're welcome. To kind of walk me through this, but I think it's all designed for that, man. They really don't want you, honestly, 100% knowing what you're doing. It's like, how much more a month? Because I get that. I get dinged every month, various things from Google Workspace, Google whatever. And I just sort of grin and bear it and go, that's the price of being in, tis what it is. I mean, I started paying for this freaking Zoom thing we use. And I don't even know how to
all
use
into my subscription deduction on my business expenses.
Your business, well, so there you go.
Right,
but
right there with Netflix and all that other stuff.
Jeez, I don't pull that stuff off. So America, there you go. America, you're not that you needed to know, but it doesn't just happen. We don't just show up and boom. Like back in the radio days.
We know some stuff about stuff we don't know about. So
I'm just realizing I'm drinking coffee out of this old NCBS cup. I would like to find the maker of this. I worked for this company, 20 years ago.
Still got the cup.
Man, you realize that? You ever see that? Like there's certain things that just become part of your life. You don't even realize it. Like it's the mug or the cup or and a lot of times it gets shoved toward the back of the pantry or it's whatever. And it's just like, you never throw away a good coffee cup, right? You've had that problem. We have this. We got. Let me tell you,
Dude, we have so many cups at my house.
can't even close the. We go through that stage, and I think we're at that stage right now that it is a what's the game Jenga where you gotta do the
Yeah, you move one to get the other ones.
Tupperware. Oh my God! And here's the deal: we have because my wife, we have the official, like, or the good storage stuff, the glass, Corningware, and right. That stuff's crap. It's heavy. It takes up a lot of space. If it falls, you got huge problems, and you never right. So
yeah,
with all
I'm with you. I just emptied the dishwasher right before we came upstairs to do this, and it's all of you just throw all the Tupperware crap in the bottom cabinet, all the good Corningware and any glass that's all up at the top where nobody reaches.
Hey, I'm gonna tell I'm telling truths here, and 9 times out of 10. If I got to grab something to store, like leftovers, or I'm going to save something for later, I'm grabbing some Chinese restaurant. The Chinese restaurants that deliver around here, they got these nice black bowls and the lids that go on top.
Yeah, we can.
And they're uniform. So if we've got like 8 or 9 of those things, you grab any one of those lids, boom. Yeah. So if you look at my refrigerator at any given time, it looks like we got a lot of Chinese takeout. That's sort of our version of the Crock. What was the country Crock butter?
Oh, the butter. Yeah, we have the butter ones too.
Margarine. It's margarine, not butter. That's when they sold us back in the day.
Butter.
Yeah, that's when they sold us back in the day that, hey, natural butter that comes right out of a cow. That stuff's bad for you. You know what you need? What's a lot healthier? All these oils and chemicals and dye that we make it look like it's butter. Yeah,
but so it's not. It's chiffon. The worst thing about that is pulling that out. Toast myself a bagel, and then I grab that country Crock container. When the bagel pops out of the toaster, I open up the butter, and it's like 2-week-old nasty leftover chili.
But that's the other thing too, and look, that's universal. And I don't care, guys. I don't care if you live. I don't care what your socioeconomic status is. I promise you, I can go to. They got some neighborhoods around here. I promise you, with $1 million plus homes. I promise you, if I go in there and go to their refrigerators, I'm gonna find stuff they forgot was in there.
Yeah, in the back.
And that's when it starts. Is it growing anything? That's always amazing to me too. Is the stuff that grows fungus or mold pretty quick.
Yeah.
And the stuff that's been in there for weeks, you're going, well, sort of on that line of conversation here. And I don't know, I'll bet you I'm not the only person to ever do this, but you ever do something and you wonder if I'm the only person in the world that did this today. I do that all the time. Like I was on a plane the other day and hitting the songs. And get the Brothers Johnson, Stomp. Everybody take it to the top. We're gonna stomp. I love that song. I loved it when I was a kid. I got the cassette just for that song, and I'm listening to that this past week, flying back from Jackson, Mississippi. And I thought to myself, I'll bet you I'm the only human being on the planet right now in the air listening to the Brothers Johnson. I could be wrong.
That's a possibility, though, man.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know why my brain thinks this way. But I had one of these moments yesterday, and I hope my wife's not listening to the podcast because she gets annoyed for this kind of stuff. So I grilled a week ago, a little over a week ago. We had company over, and I went out, and they were on sale. Let me say that because I don't typically, and I bought a bunch of steaks, including some filet mignon. All right, and I got news for you. It's not my favorite. It's funny. Filet mignons are overrated.
Yeah, no,
they're overrated. They're too thick. That's why if you go to the restaurant, you ask anybody that has the nerve to ask for a well-done filet, they're always going to say, "We got to butterfly that, bruh." Yeah. In fact, the chef's going to be ticked off when you say you want a well done. So,
but I don't. I'm like, and that's the reason for me because it's thick, and I don't. I don't have to have it well done, but I don't want it raw.
I don't mind it. And I had my my in-laws here. Great people. I love hanging out with them. But he and his daughters. I mean, they eat it damn near rare. They like, so Follow me? So I had that, and I had some thin ribeyes, okay, which ain't cheap. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those days. I had people coming over.
But that's good. A good thin ribeye.
Yeah. That's sort of annoying after two because my son ate them, and we always cook too much. And he said that, yeah, I kind of like the ribeyes more than the. So I had these fillets. I had about maybe 3 or 4. I sent some with them. And they're thick. And I hate to say my wife was right, but she's kind of right because she had, like, I think, thrown hers in the microwave after when they just came off the grill, which is nothing is encouraging. Then you spend a ton of money on a good piece of meat and you grill it to a perfect. It really was. I got medium. I got a medium. They were legit medium, which means they're red in the middle.
Right.
She don't like that. All right. But so she did whatever. So story, right? So we do, and we eat. And I thought my son had finished off all the food. You know. So yesterday I'm doing something and we needed room, so I'm cleaning out stuff. And I had a freaking fillet that's been sitting in there and it's not, especially if it's some rare, it's not good anymore, right? It's not going to be, So I say, well, I can't let a good filet mignon go to waste. So I tore that sucker up and put it in the possum's dish back of the yard. I got a little bowl back there that I feed the pet possum every night. And I thought about that yesterday. I said, I wonder if I'm the only person in the world right now feeding filet mignon.
That and stomp. And I think you were.
I was having a unique kind of week, man.
That possum went back, to the possum hood and told everybody to check this out.
Man, bruh. It just gets better and better at Dave's house. Started off with like nuts and bananas. He threw some hamburger back here the other day. Filet, bro. And he tore it up.
Gosh. Talking about food and cooking on Fridays, since I get off at noon on Fridays, and my son and I will typically try to go to lunch together.
Not very nice.
Which means, I take
You're
him
buying.
to lunch.
Yeah.
Correct. And any leftovers that I have also go to his house.
Sure. Absolutely.
Which is what, I
supposed to happen.
Purposely try to leave something so he can take it back. But anyway, it's a Southern Cajun restaurant. It's based out of New Orleans, but it's here in Baton Rouge, Acme Oyster House. And so, we eat, and then the waitress comes back. I give her a card. She comes back and has a concerned look on her face and says, I don't know how to say this, but I want to make sure I get it right. And I'm instantly thinking, God, did my card not go through?
Yeah.
But then it's like I said, to the point where, because my son and I even joked afterwards, she seems so concerned. It's like, your card didn't go through and there's a warrant for your arrest. And I'm sorry, but you're not going to be able to leave.
We had to notify the authorities.
Right. They are right outside the door now.
Yeah. Unless you be like Jack Reacher, just say,
Then she says, Mr. Semino. She wanted to make sure she got my name right.
Okay.
And that was her whole, I'm not quite sure how to say this, but I want to make sure I say it right. It's a big deal. Who cares? Why'd you have to say Mr. Semino, making me think my card bounced or whatever?
Really?
Yeah, that was it.
My older son has a habit, and it's kind of a funny habit, cute habit. He's had it forever. That I guess in his head, before he tells you something, a lot of times he'll say, "Hey, Dad, good news," or "Hey, Dad, bad news." And I always want to tell him, you don't get to decide that. You have to let me.
Yeah.
Because it always sets me up. Because unfortunately, it's a lot of things he says, "Oh, Dad, bad news." It's never really as bad. It's usually not nearly as bad. Or he'll tell me good news, and I'm getting excited, like, "Oh man, you got a new role, you got a part, and it's like it's nothing, man. It's like, dude, you gotta cut that out. Just give me the news.
Because here's the deal: at his age and your age, good news and bad news mean a whole lot of different things.
Man, you ain't lying. You ain't lying. We're talking about animals and stuff earlier with possums. So I put it on Facebook, and I think I sent it to you. So my wife's on a bike ride. The other day, right? So here's the thing, guys. We don't live in a swamp. I know it might sound like that because you're
in a very suburban
dude. There's a AAA baseball team that I can hear.
You're in a bougie section of a bougie city.
No,
But
no.
It's
I'm in the no. There's bouginess around us. I'm in the old neighborhood, right? I'm in
but still.
Believe me, I can go introduce you to some of my neighbors, bro. We ain't bougie. I mean,
I'm not saying you're bougie, but you're in a nice
bougie.
section of town.
It's and we're hanging in there. Like our biggest fears is, Houston spreads. That's anything. Anytime you're in a suburb or a city that's close to a big metro area, especially these days where you don't know who anybody is. But so my wife goes for a ride, and what happened is this place got developed. A lot of new development over the past 10 years. And this area not far from my neighborhood was just there's a creek. And when I say it's a creek, they call it Oyster Creek, but in some areas it's as big or bigger than the Bayou Lafourche. I mean, it's a nice sized thing of water, and a bunch of trees. Most of them got cleared. So animals, man, they do what they do. We used to have a lot of deer. We used to see deer all the time, and I guess the deer have been misplaced. So alligators, and I've always talked about, we've got some big alligators that hang out. And I've never seen this. My wife comes back, and she's so not me, because when something like unique happens, dude, I'm sharing it with the world right away. I'm walking in the house saying, "Y'all will not believe what I just freaking saw." So she comes back, and she's probably been home for a little bit, morning bike ride. I'm doing, I'm getting a coffee or something. She just like in passing going, "You never guess what I just saw." And I'm thinking she's going to tell me, there was a turtle on the sidewalk. There was, I saw that alligator again. She pulls out her phone, freaking bobcat. And I'm talking not a baby bobcat, not like it might be something else. You sure it's not somebody's pet, just happens to be a cat without, a long tail. No, I'm talking a full grown freaking bobcat. Standing on a bridge, this little bridge, it crosses the creek, and it's right near the ballpark. She said she was going that way. That's just typically where she rides her bike. She stopped and she kind of stared at it a little bit, and then it just turned around and slowly walked its butt down.
Where do you think? I mean, is there a wooded area?
Yeah, there's
near
some,
there?
but man,
But
listen,
big enough?
that is what I'm wondering. Now, the sad part is this animal's probably going to end up dead on a road somewhere. I have no idea. Juan, it's all I can do to try to. I've done some research on possums, right? So I understand what. Right, I understand.
You can't be an expert on possums and bobcats.
Yeah,
It's
you know what
not
I'm saying. Like I've done some research on what possums eat, where they sleep, how long they live, because possums are underdogs. I'm a big supporter and feeder of steaks to possums. Okay, now I tell you what, that bobcat. Now we have our own cat. That, it's basically it's inside cat, but it's inside outside. And Juan just went away. And
yep, there you go. You see, I turned my phone on. Hang on, let's see. Did I come back?
Your name came back. Let's see.
Let me turn my phone off again.
Although, hey man, this might be. I might just. You know what? If you ever can't show up, this is how I'm going to do the show. For those of you listening on audio, you have no idea. That now I'm just looking at a screen that says Juan Semino as
Let's see as I quickly try to come back.
We started the show talking about the fact that we're a couple of old guys with IT problems, so it's kind of appropriate.
Yeah, you go.
That
so it's showing that my camera's on.
No, it's not, bro.
No,
you got man, don't make me start trying to figure out stuff over here. Hang on.
You go ahead, keep talking. I'm talking in the background.
All right. I'm just gonna imagine that your facial expression. There we go.
Yeah. So all right, that would be my FaceTime HD camera as opposed to my desktop camera. Go figure.
Bro, you a guy that can't even get email no more. And I'm trusting you. I'm trusting you with important IT issues on the Dave and Juan More Time podcast. Yeah. But the point I was saying with the cat, so I got cat that spends a lot of her time outside. Dude, bobcat. Now, granted, it has to cross a little bit to get here, but I can only imagine that bobcats have a very big range. There's a lot of squirrels around here. I mean, I don't know what the
do bobcats hunt and kill their food?
Oh, for sure. Yeah. There ain't a cat, small dog, rodent, nothing safe. And cats are, look, we've talked about pets before, and I was playing with my cat a while ago, which again, I'm not a big fan. It's weird. I got a weird relationship with this cat. All of a sudden she gets playful. She wants to play with this thing. Cats basically exist to sleep, eat, and kill. Kill. That's all a cat thinks about. If it moves, can I kill it? That's all a cat. I see my cat outside, right? It's always stalking. I mean, the poor lizards, and I can't tell you how many things, how many things I've saved outside that my cat gets. Man, she gets pissed off, you know, meowing at me, and I'm like, stop the freaking, leave the poor lizards alone. Just do something, you know, go do something else. Well, just take that times 10 with the bobcat.
Yeah, a lot stronger cat.
I want to say, I guess I've seen some in a zoo before. I mean, I can't think of a bobcat without Galliana Junior High, bro. We were the Wildcats, the mighty Galliana Junior High Wildcats, and we had a stuffed wildcat in a glass case. That was that was the sketchiest looking wildcat. I mean, that thing, I might have been roadkill for all I know.
What technically is a wildcat, Dave? Could it be? I mean, is there a specific?
Well, Juan, as we've established, I am more comfortable talking about possums, but I don't know. I guess it's technically a bobcat.
Okay.
I don't think wildcat. I don't know. I don't remember back in the day we first started this podcast. We were always going to SIRI, just asking questions because we wanted the edge, and then we just realized over time, just go with it, even if you're wrong. Everybody else, I mean, we're not lying, y'all. We may be wrong, but we're not lying, as opposed to everybody else,
right?
Man, everybody online, they're lying. They're lying. We don't even know how many wars we got going on right now.
Dude, and the war, talk about. So I'm not a, not a geographic or geography whiz or anything, but so I decided yesterday. I Googled how big is Israel.
It ain't
in
big
comparison to the state size of New Jersey.
Okay, yeah.
Gaza is about 2 Washington D.C.s. So both those places got a whole lot of military might.
Yeah.
For little bitty places.
And a lot of it being sent.
Yeah.
A lot of it being sent, man. Oh,
I like how hey, bro, could y'all pause this stuff so we could send some more stuff? You know, the mail's kind of slow.
I don't even, and look, there are debates to be had, not here, but what's going on? Who's calling the shots? Because it's never the people that you think calling the shots. Our hands are always in everything. I'm sorry, America. I'm sorry, America. We all grew up with the schoolhouse rock and roll. We're the greatest thing since sliced bread. And for the most part, we are the shining city on the hill, whatever. Look, man, humanity's last, that's us. All right. Yeah. But
so far, nobody's dropping bombs on us in the middle of the night.
Oh, no. Well, hang on. Wait up.
Yeah, well, maybe they are.
They won't be dropping them, dude. They got, man. All right. We go from the nice and fluffy conversations of
possums and bobcats.
Possums, bobcats, IT issues with old guys to the World War. I don't even know if it's 3, 3.5, 4. Don't you think for a half second that there aren't sleeper cells all over the country right now, dude? I mean, they just are. They just are.
We're welcoming them in.
Oh, we're giving them. We're busting them everywhere. Giving them.
Some could be staying
in
posh hotels in downtown New York City.
Dude, I want to say that I have stayed in the hotel where they got all those. I think it's the Roosevelt or something hotel in Manhattan, and that's one of them. That's just one of them. Yeah, and you just kind of shrug your shoulders and say, okay, it is what it is. Oh, by the way, so that's other big news. I mean, I think it happened right after we did the last podcast that Mike Johnson became Speaker of the House.
Yeah.
The Louisiana guy is now, we tried to get a Louisiana guy years ago. That was Livingston.
Heck, we tried to get a Louisiana guy this round.
Yeah, but I'm talking about but when Livingston was actually like, he was going to get it. Remember that guy?
Yeah. And
then he got
Me Too'd before Me Too.
Accusations of adulterous behavior. And so then we ended up with that guy Hastert, who ended up being a molester. Remember that dude? Like we
That's not
fired,
funny. I don't mean to laugh at somebody.
no, but we fired. Now, yeah, we fired an adulterer back in the day and got Chester the molester over there, man. But yeah, it's what kind of tells you what DC is about, right? We're not sending our best, it looks like. But so that's a different time, right? With somebody would actually resign because they had an affair. Don't get me wrong. I mean, shame on you. Don't do that. But these days,
yeah,
you got
they could be they had.
You got a president that did the hey, depends what the definition of is, bro. I mean, that was gangster right there. But so now we got Mike Johnson, who kudos for the very unique name. Right? I'm saying when they said they were going to nominate Mike Johnson, I'm like, is that his? Don't get me wrong. Great, obviously Johnson's a great name. Mike's a great. None of us did.
Yeah, none of us. Yeah, I said, where is he? Guess he's from up north Louisiana.
He's from whatever. Yeah, exactly.
And Shreveport.
Right, and he don't sound like he's from Louisiana, or not our version of Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, you know us, right? I mean, it's Brad gets tick. He's not Jeff Landry, Louisiana.
Let's put it that way. Landry, Louisiana. He's also not Foghorn Leghorn.
Oh, geez. I don't even know what Kennedy. I mean, I don't even know what his story is, but and then Scalise, I don't know what his accent is. I guess it must be more of a New Orleans kind of deal. But Mike Johnson sounds like he could do voiceover work. That dude has no discernible accent. He is a constitutional attorney, and very so interesting. We'll see what happens. I am long of the mind that I judge people by their enemies. And if you make the right people furious, I think I'm probably on your side. That's just one of my filters, right? Just let me see who's mad. Oh, that guy's mad. I think I like this guy, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Whether they change their mind about how many wars we want to fund, that kind of stuff. But so the world's an interesting place, y'all. It's again, so maybe again, like we said, those of you that can not pay attention to any of it, good on you. Pop in every now and then, and we'll tell you Bobcat and possum stories. But
I talked to a guy yesterday, and I've mentioned him before. I've never mentioned his name is Jimmy. His daughter swims with my daughter, club swim, but then swims against her in pool swim, or I mean in school swim. But he watches all the time, and he told me yesterday that he's been watching in reverse order.
Jesus.
So, and yeah, intelligent fella, says he likes our mixture. You know, we talk a little bit about politics and just about regular guy stuff. He said he liked the whole, talk about the $5 fishing license on a cane pole. But said, and he likes to see the arc of our relationship, how it built, go back to our radio days and stuff like that.
Oh, the arc. Okay.
Yeah. So, man, that's pretty highbrow stuff.
Okay. It sounds like Jimmy's putting more thought into this than we do. But that's a good one. So thanks. Hey, shout out. Thanks, Jimmy. But yeah. It is kind of funny. People make comments about various things, but it's always, and it reminds me sort of a business standpoint too, because I'm big preaching to folks, and I talk to mostly the bankers and stuff, and I tell them, I said, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but the world is not looking for you. No. Right? Anybody that starts a business, runs a business, manages something, wants to think that, man, I'm just going to be really good at what I do. I'm going to totally focus on being the best at what, and don't get me wrong, you want to, but don't think that the world is looking for you, man. The world is busy. The world is busy. People have these things called lives. They're living them. They're not looking for you. So I'll get that every now and then. I had a guy who I know, and I guess we're Facebook friends or something, and he made the comment about, oh, yeah, man, I see these clips every now and then. And yeah, he goes, I'm going to have to, one of these days, I'm going to have to subscribe to your channel. And I'm like, it's not hard to do.
Yeah.
But every time you see a clip, there's a link right there. If you just click on the link, it brings you
to brings you there. Then you can click subscribe.
But that's okay. that's okay.
No.
Just leave. I just, let that be. So since we did this last, so I went to Mississippi. I went back to Jackson. I'm going to Jackson. Jackson, Mississippi is an interesting place, man. Well, every place is an interesting place, but Jackson is, you can't even tell people you're going to Jackson these days without, they all have the same response.
Be careful.
Be careful. I even told that to the cab driver. I said, bro, you ought to change your name, like that sign, to Welcome to Jackson. Be careful.
Be careful.
He laughed. And by the way, I was in a cab because there ain't no rental cars at the Jackson airport, man. They got like several. Yeah. And so I get there. I'm like, and I tried booking before I got there, obviously on Hertz and Enterprise and Avis. And I thought, surely I'm going to get there. And then I even talked to one of the ladies sitting at the counter. She ain't doing nothing. She's just sitting there. I said, ma'am, I said, you really have no cars? Yeah, it's been that way for months now. It's just an inventory.
Well, what's her
problem.
job?
I guess they might have a handful of cars.
She receives them.
I don't know. But so apparently the rental car companies don't look at Jackson as a place where they want their vehicles. I don't know if they get broken into a lot. I don't know if it's just a traffic thing. So then I get out there and I'm like, all right, that's pretty damn. I'm like, yeah. And I might be 25, 30 minutes away from where I need to be. Let me see Uber. Patch up Uber. I'm like, Uber's not too bad. It's like $40 ride, but okay. You got to click on it. You ain't got many options in Jackson, bro. And I don't even know who it was that was coming to pick me up. I should pull up the email. I'm waiting. Be in 10 minutes. Okay, waiting. Gets to about 8 minutes. She cancels. My Uber ride cancels. But Uber, don't worry. We'll rebook you right now. Your next driver's 18 minutes away. I'm just like, screw that. I'm like, well, let me try to cancel. They make it hard to cancel. And then I realized, I think
it's
what
a lot
happened,
easier to cancel on you than for you to cancel on them.
Oh yeah, but they hit, man. Uber, dude. The second you hit book this drive, you get the instant alert from your credit card company. Bam! You just made a Uber. Yeah, Uber takes 2 nanoseconds to charge you. All right. Now
you would just think though, in a place that has an airport and no rental car availability, that Uber would be plentiful.
Well, here's what I think happened. So I'm like, look and say, no, screw that. And it takes me a while to figure out, cancel this, blah, 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 blah. So then, because there were cabs there. And when I say cabs, man, look, the cabs there are in a condition that if your friend pulled up to pick you up in one of these things, you'd be like, bro, seriously? You living in this thing? Are you living in this thing right now? But I'm trying. I don't want to take a cab. So the Uber thing shows up like a brand new thing, and it went from my ride was going to cost, I guess, $40. Now the ride would cost $61. So I guess it was a timing thing around 4 or 5 o'clock, and I'm wondering if that canceled on me, knowing that the price was about to go up. So just on general principle, I gave a verbal bleep off to the person that canceled on me, and I walk over to my man waiting to drive me, the cab, and dude, a cab ride in Jackson, Mississippi, 25-minute cab ride was $63. $63, and I had to tip the guy because he was okay. He was an okay guy. He laughed at my joke about they got to change the name to Jackson. Be careful. And he was a Dallas Cowboys fan, which was weird. He had Dallas Cowboys stuff in the car, and I'm like, "What is that, man? You a Dallas Cowboy fan?" He said, "Yeah." I'm like, "Are you from there?" "No, I'm just a Cowboy fan." I'm like, "I wouldn't really. What you
America's
doing?"
team, man. People.
That's
all
what
over
he said. He said,
Dallas.
"America's team." I said, "Oh,
yeah, not my America, bro."
Stop it. But so it's kind of funny. It's amazing, man. It's a bonding thing, right? Me and I forget his name now. Me and this guy for 25 minutes talked what's wrong with Dak Prescott. And you know me, bro. I'm an expert on give me, let me know.
Give you a topic and you'll run.
Let me know one fact or a couple facts about something, and I'm running with it. So we're that's what I was telling him. I said, dude, Cowboys are the biggest scam. What are you talking about? When's the last time they won? They won in the 90s. Most of their, you know what I'm saying? It's.
I would tell people I like for the Cowboys to have a good season because the choke at the end will be better.
Well, of course, here we are, a couple Saints fans. We ain't got a lot to,
no.
you know, we ain't. But me and my new friend, the cab driver, agreed that Sean Payton was overrated. We kind of talked about that. Like, yeah, it turns out anybody can coach with Drew Brees.
Yeah, put it this way. I don't think Sean's next gig is going to be very high paid.
It doesn't need to be, man. He's getting, but for everybody complaining about Derek Carr, and I know if I call him David Carr, it's because look,
his brother was in Houston.
In Houston, Derek Carr played down the street. Derek Carr, beginning of high school was here. So for the complaints about the money they pay him and there hasn't been showing up, hey, it's not. The one that got me is this Deshaun Watson, who was our quarterback, right? Texans. Okay, so again. I'm a New Orleans born and bred, ride or die. So the Saints are always, that's my first team, but the Texans are my second team.
Yeah,
I mean, I've lived here for 20 years and I'm going to a Texans game, I think next weekend. But Deshaun Watson, right? He got into some problems down here, y'all. At the time he was one of the better quarterbacks. Lots. Yeah. Apparently not just that. Now I don't know. It's one of those things when people, and I'm not going to get into the gory details of what all he was accused of, but it's just he had a certain attorney and somebody else had a certain. I don't want to say they're the Morris Barts and whatever, but because actually no, they're kind of these attorneys are pretty big. But anytime there's a big case in the Houston area, it's like one or two attorneys that get it. Okay, which always makes me wonder: like, are they truly that brilliant, or do they just have the stroke and they've paid off the right people? I don't know how it works. But anyway, he was accused of all kinds of stuff, settled with most of them, that kind of stuff. And then he sits out a year or two. And then Cleveland. What the world? So anybody that wants to complain about franchises, New Orleans, I know you think things are tough right now. Houston's been complaining for a while, everything, man. Yeah, you ain't Cleveland. No. Paid this guy he hadn't played in 2 years. 3.5 years, paying him $230 million, guaranteed. Yeah. So as Justin Wilson used to say,
guarantee, bro.
I guarantee. Well, let me tell you something. Watson's money is guaranteed. You know what that means? If he's got a sniffle and doesn't feel like playing today, he gets paid.
I ain't gonna play, and I'm gonna
get paid. He took a hit the other day. He apparently was cleared. He was cleared by the doctors.
I think sat out 2 more games.
He's not playing this week.
So I mean, 3.
Bro, at some point, right? It's like, okay. So NFL fans across the country, and I got friends in Cleveland. If any of you are watching, condolences, man.
Yeah, let me tell you something. If you think your life has been bad because your team is losing, it's I know a guy who grew up in Cleveland, and I used to work with him. And when they drafted Johnny Manziel, he thought, it was like, that was it. They were finally there. They had reached the promised land. Then they got Baker Mayfield. They're there again. Yeah, that's just a bad franchise.
Well, Ben Baker's playing in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, Baker's doing good.
He's, he is what he is.
He's doing all right. I guess because they're in the Saints division.
He is what he is. But so there you go. So Jackson was a great, got to work with a great bunch of people. My hotel was pretty nice. I guess it had been redone, like a Spring Hill Suites or something. But the sink, and I guess it all been redone, and it had a nice sink in my bathroom. But the chutt, the thing in the middle, the stopper, the the Shaws. What do you?
I don't know what you call it either. The drains.
The drains. The chutt, the Shaws, is missing. So basically, you just got a hole in the sink, and there's something just terribly scary and intimidating about a hole. And I'm on the 4th floor, and you just think this thing goes straight to hell, man. I mean, like if I drop anything,
what do you think?
In this
Something's
hole,
gonna go down the chutt?
No, they didn't have the chutt to block it. Normally, if you drop something, There's a chance that it's not going to go all the way down the hole.
What are you dropping
right?
in the sink?
Hey, who knows? Something could fall out your shaving kit. Your wedding ring might fall off. Not really, but right. I don't know. There's something intimidating about brushing your teeth over. Like, man, that's just a hole going to the center of the earth right there. There's nothing to stop.
A snake could come out of it.
What's going on there, man? This is Jackson, bro. Jackson. Like the Jackson Airport. Not a big airport. And I know I sent you and Rick a picture of this. So I go in and I wasn't that hungry. It was not lunchtime. So I walk into the store, whatever, the CNBC, they got these
right.
They sell everything from shirts to books,
magazines, stacks.
Exactly. And it's pretty big. I even had a little food area in it. So I grab a thing of chips, man, a 2-point-something ounce of protein chips. And they don't have prices on nothing. And I know I'm an old guy complaining about what stuff costs, y'all. Bear with it. So I grab a soft drink like a Diet Coke and a 2-point-something ounce thing of protein chips. Bill was like $14. Those chips were $9. $9 to eat protein chips that tasted like slightly salted. I don't know. It's a little bit better than cardboard, but not too much. But I know I sent you guys a picture saying, man, can't believe what this stuff costs. And there was a sign in the Jackson Airport that, made me giggle a little bit, kind of sarcastically, because the sign said about history. And it literally says, don't learn history, feel it. And I guess it's sort of like, there's a lot of history around the Jackson area, but literally the sign says, don't learn history, feel it. And I sat there thinking, good luck on the history exam. I mean, I don't think I'd be recommending, especially the young folks, don't learn history, feel it. No, learn it. You're going to take a test on that.
Without learning it.
You're going to take a test on that.
Yeah.
They're going to say, hey, what happened in, 18, whatever. Here's what I feel like happened. I don't know. I just don't think. I don't know what the Jackson test scores are, but right there in the airport, they're not.
Well, unless you're in, did you see, I don't know if it's the whole state of Oregon or just one school district there, that you no longer have to.
I think it's Oregon. Yeah.
You don't have to meet a standardized test to be able to graduate because those are discriminatory.
You don't have to be. Yeah, exactly. You don't have to be efficient in English. I guess it's English, right?
Math. Yeah, probably
science. Well, y'all, here's what they did.
The core courses.
Here's what they've done, y'all, and they throw that at you because that's total incredibly BS. In fact, it's some of the most insulting stuff in the world to say. It's funny that people that accuse other people of being biased and prejudiced.
Right, that's the ultimate discrimination. Yeah,
it's the ultimate prejudice to say that, oh, we can't expect certain people to meet any. Okay, I'm not even going to go down that path. But here's what they've done, y'all. They broke school. It was already in trouble. Okay, the public school system was already not doing great. They shut it down. They didn't let the kids didn't go to school. Look, when they made everything,
shockingly, they're behind.
Shockingly, nobody knows nothing. The ACT scores are the lowest they've been, I think, on record. Okay. And now, not everybody, because there have been people that either had the wherewithal or parents that work real hard. I mean, like some students are still knocking it out and doing well, but there's a bigger gap now than you've ever seen because they basically destroyed the school system for a few years. And now it's like anything. It's coming to roost because it's obvious when you throw out an objective measure of, okay,
right,
our job was to take these young men and women and bring them in. And by the time they get to a certain age or this grade, that the whole reason you send these kids theoretically to these schools is to prepare them for what comes next. Can you think? Do you know some science? Can you do math? Can you write? That's why you're there. That's your job. They ain't done the job. They've blown it up. So now they want to take away the basically what shows you how bad they are at their job. Right. So it's all social promotion.
It's not us, it's society.
I joke about that all the time about, when again, the old guy jokes about, yeah, that's back when they actually failed you. That's back when you could, believe it or not, y'all, there was a time they would fail you. Now you have to work pretty hard to fail. You know, you got to earn it. You got to earn an F these days.
I remember Butch failed my first grade class.
Sorry, Butch.
and then this other guy failed his junior year in high school, but he gets to come to our class reunion because he was with us for 11 of the 12 years.
Well, at least he gets that. Whatever happened to Butch?
I don't know, man.
Shout out Butch if you're out there.
Butch Freeman, first grade, St. Elizabeth School in Pankerville.
Of course, back in our day, we talked about this before.
Yeah, I think it might have been Butch. No, it was Butch Freeman.
Back in our day, being held back, especially if you were a guy, wasn't the worst thing because you became an athletic star. And then if you were like remotely athletic, and then you got to play the next year with guys a year younger than you, and then hey, the big one was the guys that were held back twice. We had a few of those.
Yeah.
And you playing with some men
right there.
You're playing with some men. They're shaving in ninth grade, but all right. What it is. And again, this is sort of political, but I guess sort of kind of not really. Here's the deal. Robert Kennedy Jr. is running for president, right? And he's one of these guys that's interesting because a lot of people like him. I've watched the interviews with him, and I'm trying to pull it here, get the stats. He's worth listening to, and there are a lot of people on the right and the left that hear Robert Kennedy Jr. and say, yeah, that guy's making sense. And of course, I don't agree with everything he does, but I mean, he's a viable candidate. He's a guy, and he broke off to, run his own because he says, Democrats are not treating him fairly, whatever. But the dude's got amazing name recognition, and he is a viable presidential candidate. Well, in the history of this country, when you are a viable presidential candidate, what comes along with that?
Yeah, some attention.
Not just attention. What does the government do? Secret
they
Service,
protect you and stuff. Yeah,
Secret Service. When you become, and it just happens, when you become a viable, because we are the country we are, and here's a person that could theoretically become president, you get Secret Service protection to keep maniacs from you. Oh, by the way, what's this guy's last name? Kennedy. If you hear, besides our foghorn leghorn senator from Louisiana, that Kennedy that, tells these stories, what are Kennedys known for? They got, what I'm saying? Both assassinated. John F. Kennedy, his father, this dude's father was a political assassination. They keep denying him Secret Service. But
they're also, think about it. 20 years ago, 30 years ago, a Kennedy was like royalty in this country. Now the media treat this guy.
Well, here's the deal, and this is why I'm saying this. This happened apparently yesterday. This is a tweet from Robert Kennedy Jr. It says, yesterday, an intruder climbed the fence at my home and was arrested.
Wow,
After being it gets better. After being released from police custody later in the day, he immediately returned to my home and was arrested again. All right. And he goes in here to talk about to basically show the applications they've done to everybody saying, hey, we need and it's not being given. So do with that what you will, folks. Where are we? Seriously, could it be more obvious? What happened? Now granted, I don't know if he has his own security, but he's not supposed to have to have his own security, right? Just craziness. It's,
I don't know. Did you see James Carville's getting slammed?
Good. I don't even know what he did, but good.
No, he's saying that the Democrats are crazy if they don't run somebody else.
Oh, well, he's right. Okay.
Please, people are slamming him. The Democrats are slamming him for coming out and saying that.
They called him this week. I got the pictures here. Our beloved commander gets up there at some press conference. Him and one other guy, was Australia, I guess it was, or whatever. Yeah. He's got a card in his hand with the pictures of the reporters, what order to call them, and the questions they're going to be asked. That ain't a press conference, y'all.
No.
Right? But to the point
That's a presentation.
They have to put a picture so he knows who to look at to. So my thing is this, y'all. I just want to know if somebody's making decisions, and I would just like to know who it is. It'd be a fair question, right? Who? Anybody? But we may be surprised. We may like who's making the decisions. You know what I'm saying?
That's not. But,
well, probably not. I'm going to go on a limb and say we probably wouldn't, but it is what it is. Also, in that shop that I bought the chips and the thing in and the drink in and thing, I don't know that I've ever seen a health certificate. You know, you always see these things when you go in there. Always a B. It got a B. I've never seen one that wasn't an A, right?
But it's a store, or so.
I guess they sold. You could get coffee and some other stuff in there. I have no idea. Sometimes it's a number score, right? But I've never seen anything below a 90. And I'm guessing it's a 10-point scale. If you go,
I don't think I ever even knew what that was because it always looks exactly the same.
No, it's a score. It's some kind of government thing they slap on there. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know the health who inspects that, but they gave it a B. A B. Like I said,
probably wasn't for the pricing.
A B must mean, yeah, we saw some roaches, but they were all dead. So, you know, it wasn't and if you just want one more thing, one more little snapshot here to understand how the world is some things are not, they don't get better. This so we're in October now, toward the end of October. The month of October 9 years ago, right? Cinemas. We used to actually go to movies.
Mm-hmm.
We used to actually go to the movies. This is I think it was it? I think it was 9 years ago is what I saw. No, it got to be longer than that. Maybe it was in the 90s. Anyway, in the month of October, these movies were all in the cinemas at the same time. It can't be 9 years. Pulp Fiction.
Out in the 90s.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I mean. So it said the 90s. Yeah, that part was wrong.
It was probably around 93.
Okay. Yeah, I guess so. It must have been 19 years ago. 19 years ago. There you go. Pulp
That
Fiction.
would have been like 30 years ago, Dave. But
we said before, dude. We started this podcast saying we started this podcast
in Oregon, man.
Dude, I really don't. I get stuff that pops up on Facebook. It's like a 9-year memory, a 10-year memory. Dude, something could have happened 2 years ago. It could have happened 15 years ago, and it's about the same, right? So anyway, whatever. Let's just pretend we know the year. Well, okay, I'm going to Siri that one. Hey, Siri. When was Pulp Fiction released? Okay, 1994. There you go. So I just wrote down the wrong thing. It was 29 years ago. Bruh. Bad on them. Anyway, here's the point. We used to have good movies. Okay. Cinemas at the same time. Pulp Fiction, Forrest Gump, The Shawshank Redemption, The Lion King, Jurassic Park. Bro, that was all in the cinemas at the same time. I go right now, sit down in front of the TV with Netflix with every movie in the world, and none of them worth seeing. Nothing new. Right? There's like, there might have been like 3 movies in the past year that I'm like, yeah, that looks worth seeing.
To that point, last week, my wife and daughter were out of town. So I was looking on Netflix for something to watch. I watched a movie that may have been from that same year, The Firm with Tom Cruise.
Holds up. The Firm,
anything else? Yeah.
Firm was a well done movie. It had, Tom Cruise was great, but it also had, I think, pound for pound, the best actor of the past 40 years, Gene Hackman, bro.
Yeah.
Gene Hackman was the man. Still is the man, actually. He's in his mid 90s, I think, late 90s. He's still alive. But those are the kind of
guy, Gary Busey.
Oh yeah, before he went totally crazy. Before Gary went totally off the reservation crazy. He was good in that movie. Holly Hunter, Wilford Brimley.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, he's a character actor. He always does it, but he's good at it.
They filmed that in Memphis, and I was working in Memphis around the time, so I knew all that island they went out to and all the stuff, the building he jumped out of and stuff. Yeah, I knew that area, but it's one of those movies too. And that's why you have to sort of divorce your head from. I don't think divorce your head's what I was looking to say there. Of course, I didn't know. I
yeah.
thought the 90s were 19 years ago, so that'll just tell you where I'm at right now. But wait a minute, Juan. 23, 20, it's a little 20 something years. We'll just clean all this up in editing.
Okay.
Juan. Don't worry about it.
1999. See,
Okay,
the
well,
year 2000 was 23 years ago.
23 years. Okay, I got that. I've got sons that age. I should know these things off the top of my of my head. But what was the point there? We're talking about
we're talking about movies.
You watch these movies and there were no cell phones, there was no internet, there was no right. So you kind of think like today, you ain't running and hiding. Right? Where you going, bro? Where you going, man? You showing up on Ring doorbells everywhere, man. Cameras everywhere. But it was a good movie.
It was a good movie from a good time in cinema. Now you got Barbie.
Ed Harris was in there too. Ed Harris played
the
yeah, that was at the end when they got Paul Sorvino was the mafia guy in there. Man,
yeah, that's another guy who's typecast.
Yeah, he was the boss man and the boss guy in Goodfellas. All good stuff. All right. We started with tech, the politics, the animals, the whatever the heck we're talking about right now. I think the buffet has been laid out. What do you think?
Yeah, bro, it's there for the eating. Push
the button. We gonna get on out of here, y'all. Hey, if you want to reach us, we ain't extremely hard to find.
Right there.
Well, it's Dave and Juan at protonmail.com. And Juan may have other ways to reach us. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we're here. You can hit us up through Facebook. You can hit us up through the YouTube channel. Anywhere you want, we're there.
Yeah. So, So speaking of which, so we're saying that our advertising account will be restricted due to policy violations.
That's all fake.
You got any idea what that stuff is? Am I supposed to verify the metaprotein, bro?
No.
Hey, man.
It's not really them. Trust me.
We've received feedback from certain customers indicating that you do not comply with one or more of our advertising pop. Dude, we don't have advertising pop, man. Man. No. They're trying
we get that on my company that I work for on their Facebook.
They're trying to put a collar on a bobcat. That's not going to happen, y'all.
Can't restrain this.
You can't restrain these bobcats, man. We feed filet mignon to possums around here, bro. You think we're going to listen to you? Oh, there you go. So, hey, every week, guys, we tell you don't. It's not a suggestion, not a hint. We're not subtly implying anything.
No, man. No.
Freaking
it's a freaking mandate.
It's a freaking mandate to get out there and live your best life. Live your best life, y'all. Go for it. Now, everybody's got a different level. Some of y'all having great times. Some of y'all struggling, whatever. Live your best life. You get knocked down. What do you do, Juan?
Yeah, get right back up. Try it again.
You get right back, unless you land on something kind of soft, then you lay there for a little bit and go.
Yeah, you kind of take a relax, regroup, and then get up.
If it's a good, but then you got to get back up. You gotta get back up, get at it again, and we'll get back in a week from now. We'll talk about what happened, what went on. It'll be This one's gonna go before Halloween. All right, so this one's gonna air right before Halloween.
This one's gonna air the day before Halloween. Yeah.
Yeah. So then we'll talk about Halloween. We'll talk about We'll talk about the trick-or-treaters next time. See what and the various things about all the Halloween candy yesterday. So the goal right now is to hide it for the next couple of days. Because people be showing up to the Martin household and I'll be giving them old steaks.
Well, hey, you gotta do it.
No, I'm not gonna shaft my possum. Sorry. Sorry, kids. We're just gonna make popcorn. Here you go. Get a fistful of popcorn. There you go. All right. Everybody, y'all have a fantastic one. Love you, bro.
Back at you, man. When he was there, he wanted to go and see there's an area. I call treed areas woods. He calls them forest. I don't know why. I don't think I've ever actually seen a forest, but whatever. So it's fall, and they actually have seasons up there. So he wanted to go and for just a hike. There's a trail. But he wanted to be in the moment, so he didn't bring his phone with him. This boy can't drive from my house to Walmart without a GPS. Can't do it. Got lost.
Got lost in the forest in Rhode Island.
In the forest in Rhode Island for over 2 hours before he saw somebody who he then had to follow out.
Wow. Wow. Hey, man, you got some adventurous sons, Juan.
Well, I don't know, because let me tell you something. His mom, I said, I don't know what you'd have done with your phone, because you know what your mom would have said. I'm not going to enable you by coming find you. You should have known better.
You didn't plan on having to become a wild man living in the forest for the next 2 months,
right.
but
That'd be your brother. You better get some advice from him.
that's right. You better go all Tom Hanks and Castaway out there, bro.
Yeah.
Find yourself a volleyball for a friend. You're going to be in there for a while.
It's over. Go home.